Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jeremy, founder of quickmail.io.
Hey,
I
this
don't
is
know.
Jack, Chief Lead Generation Officer at salesbread.com. I like that, Jeremy. I like it.
Rap. Yeah, man.
Today, we're coming at you with a
Growth
growth chat.
chat. Nice.
That's right. That's right. We're going to be reviewing one particular B2B SaaS company
It's been a long
and
time.
sketching out an outbound cold email campaign from scratch. Growth chat.
Yeah, it's been a long time we haven't done that. And bear in mind, the company may already be doing it. We just figure out a few criteria that we're going to share after the intro. And yeah, we're going to roll with it. And hopefully, that may resonate with a lot of you guys and girls. Yeah, whatever.
Sure. Especially in the B2B SaaS
Mm-hmm.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me. But
Maybe
first,
I'll pick up a few
quick.
nuggets.
Yeah, that may be the case. But first, quick word from our sponsors because today, most B2B companies and B2B SaaS lack the time or maybe expertise to turn those cold prospects into warm sales qualified leads that want to hear your pitch. So at salesbread.com, we'll bring you one lead every day, Monday through Friday, by sending ultra personalized cold emails and LinkedIn messages on your behalf. So you don't have to worry about building lists, personalizing, writing amazing copy, following up properly, checking replies, and everything in between. So if that sounds interesting and you want to take a closer look, head over to salesbread.com, check out our content, and maybe hit that contact page and get in touch.
Nicely said. I wanted to do the beatbox, spread, whatever. So maybe I don't know.
don't
I
don't
promise I didn't drink or use anything. I'm just naturally wired that way. There's another thing that is hard today is to scale an agency more, the 10 client mark. It's hard to keep track of all the inboxes, their sending reputation. That becomes an absolute nightmare. And meanwhile, your whole team is trying to be on top of clients and get, not literally, of course, but trying to get them results. And it's hard. And sometimes, support is very unhelpful, and that makes things even harder. Anyway, that's why some of the biggest cold email agencies in the world are using Quickmail. It's no drama, it just works, and you can scale your business without worrying that things will break. We've been very stable for many, many years, and our longest customers knows it because they're still with us after so long. So if your operation is looking for the most robust, flexible email tool software on Earth, I don't think there is another planet yet discovered. So head over to quickmail.io, start a trial, and or ask or support for a demo. And I think that will do it.
That's it. Well said. Great wrap, Jeremy. All right, let's throw a 10-minute
Oh yeah,
timer here on the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and
boom.
share my screen right now. Jeremy, do you see hive.hr?
Yeah, I don't know what is in this
Okay.
tea, but anyway, I feel good.
I'm glad.
That's
I'm glad.
mushrooms.
Hang in
I
there,
swear it's
Jeremy.
not.
All right. So we're checking out Hive and we're putting a campaign together. We need to
Oh yeah,
talk
cool.
we need to talk messaging in order to do a proper growth chat. So first things first, as always, let's look at the list. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you can learn a lot from certain well put together, well thought out SaaS websites. And Jeremy, going here, I don't have to click. That's my starting point for list building. It says industries we help, and then it lists 7 industries from education, healthcare, nonprofit, etc.
Yeah, good
Um,
verticals to try for sure.
mhm.
If you
So
want
we have
to,
verticals.
I think we didn't really mention the sort of background. The idea of the growth chat is, let's say they haven't done outreach by email or other stuff, and then we are trying to do. We've been hired for their team to
Mm,
try to do the outreach. So
yep.
Jack highlight very well how we would do it. One question for you, Jack. I see like the employee voice platform, whatever. So it's clearly for employees to do things. The question or to get some information, whatever. It doesn't really matter. The question to you is like, would you go to the employer? Would you go to the HR director? Like what type of
Great
people do
question,
you?
Jeremy. So I'm looking to answer this question properly. You would take a look at a spreadsheet of customers and ideally
Mm-hmm.
the decision makers for this product. And I'm seeing a lot of chief people officer or chief HR officer, CHROs. That kind of title tends to be repeated on the page. So I'm thinking that's my point person. What do you think?
Yeah, this is this I think this is more or less a strategy called direction. There was like a billing platform that did super well by just simply going the other direction, like making it like so easy that the
Developers.
whole team wanted to to actually do it, and then basically the whole team was advocating for the
Mm.
thing. It's a different type of a different direction. Not really sure that would work so well with cold outreach, because cold outreach you can't really hire email everyone. You have to pick up
Right.
a couple of people in a company, or maybe two, three, four.
So let's check out the customer stories just to get a really good pulse on who's actually benefiting here. So here's looks like a nonprofit. All right, we can look at some of their, say, KPIs in this case, increase in trust and leadership. So instead of an HR, we have organizational development lead.
Whatever
That,
that means. It may be a
yeah.
governmental stuff.
Let's look at another story really quick, Jeremy. Just
Mm-hmm.
how many minutes do we have?
6.5. We good.
6.5. Okay, great. Yeah, people project manager. All right, so this is definitely trending towards the HR department.
Mm-mm.
If you agree, Jeremy, I think we might go after the HR leadership at these 7 industries. The only other filter I would make sure of is I think the companies have to be of a certain size in order to really care about employee turnover, right?
Sure. I don't think that'd be very, to have an HR tool is probably not very interesting when it's a 2 people company or three
There you
people,
go.
right?
Of course. Of course. So, what needs to happen is just analyze the users and
Yeah.
find the, where the majority falls in terms of an employee count range.
Yeah. I'll check if this is a enterprise game or mid-size, game, because obviously
Yeah.
sales cycle different, and that will definitely impact our call to action and the speed at which we
Mm-hmm.
want to close things in our campaign.
Okay. But I want to get a little bit more, I don't know, interesting with the list building because at the moment we've got the basics, industry, size, and job title, essentially. But I think we can do better when we analyze. Okay, so let's take a look at one metric we see repeated on some of these
Sure. Yeah.
customer stories, which are really just case studies. So we see drop in employee turnover. Well, you can use a few different tools out there. Sales Navigator is one of them that will tell you you can kind of hack your way through it to figure out how many employees recently left that company. And I wonder if we added that as a layer. So we said, all right, show me companies in these industries with this size, but then let's find companies struggling with employee churn. Do you think that would help us out finding a list that has this bleeding neck problem, a little bit more eager to solve this?
Yeah, I love the way of thinking. To me, there is like two ways. There's either that, obviously the drop should not be like drastic, otherwise they're just laying off and everything is in
Fair.
freeze,
Good point. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it could also be at a certain point when you hit like 20 employees or 30 employees or whatever, that is the
Right.
critical point where you actually do need that type of software, because it's probably easier to come at the right time rather than replacing an existing one, unless you have like some really competitive advantage. One thing I really like on the homepage as well is
Yeah.
they have a really high G2 ratings, or like apparently they're really loved by their customers from the
Right.
rating. So that's already a good thing. They got a good product, so definitely they shouldn't be afraid of going head to head with an
Mentioned
existing
that.
competitor, right?
So I'm pulling up Glassdoor. This is the second, um,
Oh, nice.
maybe,
I like
yeah,
the
data
idea.
source you could use. You could find companies that may not be, let's say, if they're already a company that's achieving like a 4.8 rating by their employees, they probably have this taken care of. I might use this to filter, like, okay, NBC Universal 4.1 overall. It looks like they certainly care, but they're not quite hitting their marks. It seems like
But
there might be something here. Yeah.
Question for you, Jack. How would you then we still have only 3 minutes. How would you approach the message to them? You wouldn't say like, "Hey, it looks like you're a shit company."
Of course not. Of course not. You don't even have to mention it. They know. Like,
that's true.
That's my recommendation. Don't mention it and just say like, "Hey, if it's interesting, here's how Travelodge use this employee voice to drop employee turnover." You don't have to say they're bad at it.
I see Sarah left this toxic company, but hey, we can help you with that.
Okay. I want to take our 3 minutes and work messaging here. So,
all right, cool.
I'm going to use their resources section to pull up a couple interesting things here. So
clever. I like that.
Yeah. So
it's a good website, by the way. There's a lot of things on materials to work with, which is not always the case.
Yeah. By the way, so they have an ebook on boosting engagement. So that, I'm not saying that's the world's greatest CTA, but it is an option. And then I'm a big fan of using like this for either full on getting people to request a case study or dropping mini case studies in where you just share, here's how Travelodge reduced employee turnover by 5%. Can I share details? Like, it's establishing credibility in a very effective manner.
Two things I will. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, one last thing on boosting credibility, name dropping some of the happy customers that are actually pretty big companies that would look good on an outreach campaign.
Yeah, those companies, obviously, I will try to target the same size and those sort of things, or maybe at the time they joined the company because maybe they grew since. There's two things I will also look at is maybe they got some PDF that works better than others in terms of generating leads. So I will definitely use those PDF as benefit for in the cold email. Like if they have like a PDF on increasing engagement, that maybe that's what I will lead with in the benefit, and then I will use basically all the sort of PDF as follow-up. So each of the PDF is probably zero in on one thing, so engagement, happiness, whatever kind of thing, and then I will just basically use that as follow-ups.
I mean, well said. It's almost like a lot of the hard work has been done already.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Like, cool, they've done their homework.
Okay, now let's talk about some of the pain points we might mention in the copy in the cold emails here. So we almost have to switch this around. Like, what happens if they don't solve this, Okay, so then we may talk about, so it says open and honest culture drives performance. So it would be interesting if there was a before and after. Here's where the company was at, but after getting employee voice done correctly, they increase performance here. I think the only element missing, we've got great social proof. You've mentioned a lot of solid calls to action we could add. I think benefits we've also covered, but I would harp on what happens without this for a pain point, at least one or two of the emails. Do you agree, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think that will be definitely adding more value to our cold outreach as to maybe why we're contacting them. That could be an interesting thing. Maybe it's linked to an event, like you mentioning, like 2 years of going down, or some other events, maybe events in the industry, like saying like, hey, it's a difficult situation at the moment in the industry. People who really succeed do XYZ or whatever. And that could be something to follow. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. So any sort of like closing comments on how to grow Hive with cold outreach?
Closing comments. So if this is my campaign, I'm not going to worry about launching 7 different campaigns for each different vertical they list.
Nice.
Right. Instead, I think there's probably one here that makes up half of their users, or at least half of their good users. So another note is make sure you pick a vertical that you can easily find the appropriate people. I'm thinking like housing associations, maybe a little bit more challenging. Ditto for construction. So there's some industries that lend themselves better to cold outreach, and I would definitely use that to pick one straightforward vertical that I can put matching case studies alongside relevant logos that are going to look similar to the prospects we reach out to. And when I get good results, I'll dial that in before worrying about other verticals to expand to. Jeremy, what about you?
I think you nailed it. I'm not going to add any more comments. I think it's I think it's all good, and I would definitely recommend this approach as well.
All right, Jeremy approved. I'm happy over here. If you like the conversation, check out course.quickmail.io. It's this plus what you really want us to show you, which is how to write copy. How does an agency that is paid to build lists, how do they actually do that? What's the mindset behind effective cold emailing that's going to prevent burnout and also get you the results you want? And more importantly, how do you just hand this to your team and say, go, and have them actually perform pretty darn close to that 5-figure per month agency you were looking at? That's all in course.quickmail.io. Check it out. There's a money back guarantee on that. Take it for a test drive.
Well said.
Cool.
That's it.
Cool.
Booyah.
That's it. Booyah. All right. Catch you next time.
Yeah. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.